Hey guys, so I'm back this time. I'm gonna show you some strategies for Catacombs. Now, a lot of this is to do with my archer build, but in general, some of the stuff will apply to other classes as well. As you can see, I'm currently sitting at level 100 of Catacombs, and I've beaten this before, giving me the title of Spelunker. So the point of Catacombs is it's sort of groups of 5. You do 4 levels of little mobs, and then you get a boss. And then every boss has a chest behind it, and it has crypt tokens in, and crypt tokens buy all kinds of useful stuff. Some general tips about Catacombs I'd say is, first off, you can use a crypt key at the start every day to double how many tokens that you get from each chest. I really recommend that you hold on to these because you get about 10ish or odd of them at the start just from free stuff, and it's really worth holding on to them until about level 30, maybe 40, or at least until you can clear until about level 50 of the Catacombs to start using them, because double gains on level 1 through 4 or 5, where you only get a couple per chest to begin with, is not as useful, and also give you a bigger boost when it comes to the mid game if you're patient and you wait a little bit. So that's my first tip. If you're starting the game out for the first time, a little trick you can do on day 1 and 2 is go as far as you can on day 1, but wait the level before you think you're going to die and stop. Come back the next day when you're probably going to be quite a bit stronger because you're leveling up so fast in the early game. Keep going, get as far as you can, die, come out, hit the reset button, and that way you get sort of 2 levels worth of crypt tokens when you're a lot stronger. So that's a tip for any sort of day 1 server people out there. Now, going on to this boss right here, I'm going to show you the build I use for as an archer for doing crypt. So this is my PvE crypt build. So it's got some pretty standard stuff in here, focus attack and extra crit and Eye of the Eagle and all that stuff. Now where it differs is poison arrow and deep freeze. Now the key skill in this build is deep freeze. A lot of archers don't like this skill, but they're really wrong. It is amazing, and it is absolutely key in Catacombs. I've been 10-15 levels above everybody else on the server, and the sole reason is this freaking skill right here. Essentially what it does is makes bosses who can be slowed do 50% less damage, because for every 2 turns you make, they only get 1 turn because of it, instead of having 2 turns. So essentially it's a 50% damage decrease from bosses, which if you had a button you could push that said do 50% less damage from a boss, you sure as hell would push that. So I think a lot of people don't understand how the skill works, and it's really good. Recently I originally got poison arrow just so I can get deep freeze, but I've been starting to actually use it in my rotation a little bit when I've got extra rage. Once again, it doesn't look like a very good archer skill. It doesn't have bonus crit. 50% damage, I have to use rage, doesn't look very good. But if you actually add it up, you've got 4 ticks for 50% of the damage each time, 50% damage each time, which adds up to 200%, plus the original is 250%. If you compare that to sniper, it's pretty much on par for a sniper, although it can't crit and only costs 20 rage. So when you're doing your rotation, you need to be careful. Don't pop that, and that's something I've been recently using a little bit. It's a little bit experimental. Also, in this main build, Bloodthirsty Strike will add a lot of sort of survivability to your Catacombs by giving you as much heal as possible. Great skill, use it off on rotation. So I'm going to go into the boss in a little bit. What I've done is, on the previous 3 or 4 levels, I've sort of just used a lot of arrow strikes and multi-shots. I haven't done any AoE or anything to build up rage. So I've got 100 rage coming in. Another thing I'm doing here, I think I should show you guys, is the fact that I've got the dual skill here, which costs like 900 bands or something. It's really worth it. If you don't have the cash, you don't. But if you don't have the cash and you don't have dual skills, don't buy deep freeze, because it's only useful in PvE, and if you're running around it in PvP, it's not worth it. You want to go for just a regular PvP build like this and do your best. But if you've got the 900 Balens, this will give you a huge boost in Catacombs. It's also sometimes a bit useful in multiplayer dungeons as well. Okay, so just quick thing, what I'm going to do is, I'll show you on the boss, but what I'm going to do is I'll open up with deep freeze, so I'll slow the boss. And then I'll probably do a multi-shot because I want to proc my battle prowess, and that does 2 guaranteed crits, so that'll give me 2 stacks of that automatically. And then I'll probably start spamming arrow strikes to try and regen as much health. As soon as the boss has done enough damage to me to justify doing a bloodthirsty, I'll pop my rune, and I'll do a bloodthirsty, and then I'll just do these 2 off cooldown as much as I can. But yep, so best way is just go ahead and show you. So I'm queuing up Frost Arrow beforehand. And as you can see, I'm doing like 2 attacks to every 1 attack they do, and it just makes it melt. So yeah, I probably can go for a heal now. He's probably done enough damage to me. So proc my rune, bloodthirsty. I'm going to do 1 multi-shot, and I'm going to go back to deep freezer after this. Now you can see this boss's health is just melting. Such a good build. I really enjoy it. So now I've got a little bit of extra rage. These are both on cooldown. I'm going to use a poison arrow. I don't really have to, but it's something I've been experimenting with. I like it a lot. Yep, just keep going. Now the problem with some of these bosses, they do so much A and E, he's just going to kill me before he even gets into the troops. But yeah, there you go. Nice and easy. That was a level 100 boss in the Catacombs. And so for any of you that are struggling with the lower levels and then go, oh my god, how did you do that? It's so easy. I didn't use Warrior's Call or anything like that. I just had some pots on me. I didn't need to. And the reason why does that skill right there is huge. Okay, but once again, tip wise, if you don't have double skills as an archer, don't go for this sort of build. Your regular lunatic fire sniper is good for world bosses. It will get you pretty far in Catacombs, and it's good for PvP, which is pretty more important. But if you can do it, get your deep freeze in, get your poison arrow in. It will make a real difference and make this a lot easier on yourselves. Alright, thanks guys.